Good boxing fans and gamers? It's your boy FInest&R3lapze, the sofa commentator here with Relapse doing the most anticipated fight of the week, Davedaripped1 versus Erebos Gaming, which looks to be an interesting matchup. And both of these guys using creative fighters in the heavyweight division. One of those fights that was promoted on Davedaripped1's channel with an excellent promotion video. And now we bring you guys the actual fight. I'm your host, FInest&R3lapze, with my co-host, Relapse.
Alright, so let's break down this fight. Everyone knows Davedaripped1, but who exactly is Erebos Gaming?
Erebos Gaming is a guy who I've noticed has been putting out tip videos in order to help people benefit in the community, show guys how to get knockdowns with several characters and how to play characters like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, and try to just give new players a sense of hope on how they can play this game online. So it ought to be an interesting matchup. Both of these guys have been known for their tip videos. Dave making some videos on how to get on the inside and how to cut the ring off. He also made a tutorial video letting people know how to fix the XP glitch. So both of these guys seem to have a substantial knowledge of the game, and it'll be interesting to see how these guys play it out in this matchup.
Yeah, that glitch that he made that video about actually happened to me a couple times when I was playing OWC lately.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it just comes up, and it's nice to have somebody who is able to offer a solution. So far in this first round, we see Davedaripped1 is trying to establish the jab and take away the outside from Erebos Gaming. We see a clear disadvantage with Erebos Gaming using the Philly shell block versus the textbook block. So that's already an advantage towards Erebos Gaming, as well as Erebos being maybe an inch or two taller than Davedaripped1. So the reach advantage is also on his side. And we did see that causing quite a bit of trouble for the Rip one, trying to get his weight onto the inside with that long jab coming out by Erebos Gaming.
Yeah, wondering to see what kind of Davedaripped1 is gonna be in this fight. Usually counter punches, sometimes he'll move forward. He's beat me a couple times. Dave's definitely a good opponent, and believe he's the favorite in this fight. That's who I'd be betting on.
Yeah, I do think that Davedaripped1 has the experience advantage in this fight, and I would like to see his pressure game do come alive. But one thing that I have been noticing on his recent videos is he's been working on his outside boxing and using smaller characters such as Ricky Hatton in order to fight A-plus fighters such as Miguel Cotto and Manny Pacquiao, and has been able to hold his own extremely well and get some nice knockouts using Ricky Hatton. So I expect that to translate into this matchup. But the one thing that I have noticed throughout the career of Davedaripped1 is the fact that he does have some stamina issues. How do you think that will affect him in today's matchup?
I think he'll do fine in this matchup because this guy isn't a pressure fighter. Dave usually can run out of stamina if you pressure him, but I believe he's playing his fight right now, controlling the pace.
Yeah, one thing we are seeing most of the time here is that Dave will do a lot of baiting, come in, step out real quick, do his damage, and get out with those Viper-like qualities. And you have seen him being able to put on the pressure here in round number 2. With almost 30 seconds left in this round is pretty much in the bag for him. He's been able to land some nice shots. But the thing I'm noticing from Erebos Gaming is he isn't throwing many punches. And when he does throw, he's not landing much. We're seeing the pump blocking coming into existence for Davedaripped1 here in this round, and the pressure game has also worked quite nice for him, but that stamina is coming into question here, where I believe that stamina bar has already hit less than 80% as we move into round number 3.
Yeah, this is a real boxing match. The guys don't really want to commit too much, just getting those points, tagging them in the head.
Yeah, been a lot of filling out going on in these first 2 rounds, and so far with Davedaripped1 throwing more punches and landing more of the effective shots, I do believe that he's in control of this fight 2 rounds to 0 at this point as we move into the 3rd round. Seeing a lot of counter punching going on at this point, both men getting some counter shots off to the body. But for some reason, with Evo's game and having the defensive like qualities that he displays in his videos, he's getting tagged quite a lot in his first two rounds and also in round number three as of so far.
Dave's landing the jab to the body, right uppercut to the head, or at least he's throwing it a lot. I know that's one of his better combinations that he's landed on me a few times, and pretty sure I said something about it to him, and he said he learned it from you. He's getting trained by the great Fight Night's Finest.
And this is one of my many techniques. We see in those high and low combinations coming in quite well as he just landed a right hook to the body followed by a left hook up top. And you go up and down with those combinations. It does allow you to distort the block or confuse the AI system of the block and able to land some nice punches. It also confuses your opponent as to where you're throwing. So he may be a little tentative to throw those counter punches, but we're seeing that from Erebos gaming right now. Like sometimes he is afraid to step once he gets in close, and it's not allowing him to land the counter shots to set when he uses his head movement.
Is this a 90s match? A league match rules?
I like what I'm seeing from both guys here. I mean, not every time you have to go ahead and apply pressure or one guy's being on the outside, one's being on the inside. It's nice to see both of them taking an equivalent exchange of one guy coming forward and the other one going back. Into round number 4, we have the scorecard as shown below. 3 rounds to zip, all in favor of Davedaripped1. He's been in dominating control with his ability to counter and throw high and low combinations and just affect the Philly show defense of Erebos gaming. What would you like to see from Erebos in order to try to turn this fight around?
He's got to come forward and pressure, land some hooks to the body, and land head counters when he can, but don't make that his focus. He needs to make this like a dirty brawl to make Dave open up.
Yeah, we've seen a clear and distinct advantage in terms of the boxing skills of Davedaripped1 as well as the defensive skills of Davedaripped1 versus Erebos gaming right now. You see him stay on the outside a lot, trying to establish the jab, and he gets caught by the pressure game and the quick combinations that Davedaripped1 has landed. And once again, he just gets right back out, and then the only thing that I've really been seeing and has been of effect is that jab to the body for Erebos gaming. It's been his main and I guess his most effective tool so far in this fight.
Unfortunately, that won't win rounds anymore, unless you're throwing to the head. But yeah, he's playing Dave's game, really. He's not winning at what he's doing, and he's not adapting to it.
Yeah, an adjustment definitely needs to be made at this point as we head to about the 30-second mark of round number 4. Once again, we are seeing yet another dominating performance by Davedaripped1 in this round, able to apply the pressure with those counter signature right on twirl moves to the head, going downstairs to the body with it, and then following that up with some nice jab combinations or some high and low combinations. We're seeing Erebos, Dave actually turning up the pressure right now and getting Erebos against the ropes, and that's the end of round number 4. Moving into round number 5. I think that was a better Erebos round for him, being able to score consecutive jabs to the body in order to score his shots. But we're still not seeing the power shots that we need to see from him, maybe a couple of power straights. Not seeing enough counter punches as he gets another counter right hook to the body. And this has been the story of the night, just his ability to create counters whenever Erebos tries to come onto the inside. Once again, we're seeing the pressure being applied by Davedaripped1, putting Erebos right into the corner. Erebos able to step to his right and able to move out of the pressure game, and back on the outside goes Davedaripped1. It's been a nice little seesaw going on with the exchange of one person coming forward and one person going backwards, which you don't normally see in the current day of Fight Night Champion. Isn't that right, Relapse?
Yeah, for sure. And Davedaripped1's landing some pretty big shots here. Looks like he's gonna try and break him down.
Yeah, we definitely seeing a more aggressive Davedaripped1. I feel like the filling out process that we saw through the first 3 rounds is now starting to disappear. No longer is that balance being shown here in round number 5. Davedaripped1 is becoming the aggressor and applying that pressure. Erebos with a nice counter to the body, tries to go for the counter jab to the body and misses that punch. Back into the center of the ring, the fight continues on. And like I said, we just need to see something different from Erebos. His game plan has not changed. He's trying to stick to it. I'm not sure. Maybe he's feeling he's affecting the stamina of the Ripped One. Maybe he's feeling he's doing some form of damage. But as we're seeing, it's quite an inefficient attack. What would you do different if you was placed in this scenario?
Yeah, you got to go with those hooks and just non-stop pressure. You got to drop the guy's stamina. This game's really all about stamina. Of course, there's a little bit of luck, but stamina will win you the fights.
Round number 6 now, ladies and gentlemen. We're seeing Erebos Gaming trying to apply the adjustment that Relapse has stated not too long ago. He is coming forward in the beginning of round 6, trying to use the jab and gets countered by a side step, right uppercut. Tries to go for the counter left hook to the body, and he's unable to land that. And this fight goes right back to the center of the ring. Davedaripped1 now reversing the pressure and is able to take the pressure onto Erebos Gaming, who is now up against the ropes once again in this fight.
Yeah, Dave's health is at like 100%. His defense is looking pretty good.
Yeah, defense is definitely looking sharp. We're seeing Erebos continuing with those body jabs. At this point, you got to realize that those jabs are not scoring you enough points in order for you to win these rounds. He has to hear from the announcers on his side that this fight is not going in his direction. I'm not sure if he's listened to the advice of the Fight Night Corner of telling him to constantly jab. But we would like to see some effective power shots from Erebos Gaming up top, because what he's doing now is trying to rely on his defense and just jab to the body and hoping not to score the necessary points. But they're being blocked and he's moving out of the way of these punches, and Davedaripped1 is just fighting a perfect fight at this moment. Stamina's in control, power is working upstairs and downstairs, and he's able to land effective counter shots. I don't really know what Erebos can do different at this point, as he gets tagged with a beautiful high-low combination. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a nice combo. Like, EG must be out of stamina or getting low.
Yeah, definitely. With this being a heavyweight fight, you know, the stamina conditions are completely different. Maybe he's feeling he can commence a sweaty comeback maybe at the last 3 rounds of this fight, as we're going into round number 7 with 15 seconds left in the 6th round. Both men head back to the center of the ring, both men being very cautious, not trying to land no extra shots and recover some stamina. Throws a jab, and that is the end of round number 6. We now move into the most anticipated round number 7, where we are still waiting an adjustment from Erebos Gaming. He's starting to come out once again with that pressure. See him go with some nice body work there and was able to get a counter off. But then he is pushed back by the Ripped One, and now the fight is taking place in the center of the ring. Both men being a little bit tentative now. We see him being able to back up against the ropes. Davedaripped1 has just been the dominator of this fight completely, having his way on both the inside, on the outside, and just boxing and outboxing his opponent here. Pressuring right back against the ropes. Erebos now steps around the corner and changes sides of the center of the ring, making the seesaw once again tip in his favor. But then he gets outboxed once again on the outside by Davedaripped1, who's just, like I said, been fighting a perfect fight with high and low combinations, who's been able to apply pressure when he wants to and just do whatever it is that he wanted to do. The lack of power shots that we are seeing from Erebos Gaming is not making this an effective fight for him at all. He just tries to go for the counter jab yet again to the body, but it's just not going to score on the points that he needs. At this point, you have to be thinking that Davedaripped1 is going to be in complete control and eventually get a knockdown. When do you think we'll see a knockdown in this fight?
Like, it should be coming anytime soon, because Dave definitely turned up the pressure, landed big shots. It's the beginning of the end right now.
I like that saying, man. It's definitely in the beginning of the end. So we are expecting sometime today to see a knockdown from Davedaripped1 on Erebos Gaming. You don't want to go anywhere. Leave in the comment section who you think is winning this fight at this point, and what it is that you think Erebos Gaming should do as an adjustment. We come down to the last 20 seconds of round number 7. Dave backs off him after applying a lot of pressure and landing numerous shots on Erebos Gaming as both men are tentative, trying to recover enough stamina for the big round number 8. As you see it on our scorecard, we have it 6 rounds to 1 in favor of Davedaripped1. Like we said many times throughout this broadcast, dominated performance by Davedaripped1. He did lose the round number 4 just due to the amount of body jabs and the lack of offense that we saw from him in round number 4. By far, Erebos' game is the best round of the entire fight, and he's just been able to not capitalize on any opportunities that he had so far in this fight, and inability to make adjustments has definitely been the story of the night. We're seeing a lot more pressure being applied here from Davedaripped1, and he's just able to
can't count him out. You can't
just putting on that pressure and it's land tons of shots. Here goes somebody, please teach that man some defense. And down he goes by the power straight right hand, and he is on the canvas for the first time tonight. That's that knockdown that we was definitely talking about last round, and it's nice to see an exciting round come finally after this fight, after a nice filling it out process, and then complete utter domination by Davedaripped1 after the 4th round. Do you think we'll see another knockdown during this fight?
Yeah, Dave's staying on him pretty closely, throwing flurries. He's definitely fishing for another knockdown.
The pressure is definitely being applied here by Davedaripped1. He's backing him down into a corner and landing another counter left uppercut to the body. We're seeing nice head movement as he's able to dodge a left hook up top, and he gets another counter side step right uppercut. And he's applying a lot of pressure, but how do you think this will affect his stamina for the last 2 rounds?
Oh, he's going to drain it a lot, definitely. But yeah, you can't count him out, though. He's always got that back step straight. He could pull out, get a 1-punch KO. It would happen to me, so it could happen to you.
Definitely, the infamous 1-punch KO is available at any time to any fighter, and whether it's OWC or head-to-head, you know that 1-punch knockout can come at any time. It's one of the things that nobody can't stand about this game, is to be ahead of your opponent, definitely winning on everybody's scorecards, definitely on our scorecards, and not being able to win a fight just due to a cheap exploit in the game or something that we feel is broken in the system.
I think the only thing that's broken kind of about it is how the power straight is, it happens more with the power straight and you get more stuns.
Yeah, definitely, that power straight is just one of those punches that give him a best chance of landing. Seeing Erebos game and trying to fight off the back foot here and trying to fight his way off these ropes with a tons of combinations. Trying to look like a young James Toney back in middleweight, just moving his head and throwing a whole bunch of combinations. He's now being pressured back into the corner, and we're seeing Davedaripped1 just not backing down from Erebos game at all. He's looking for yet another knockdown after getting one in round number 8. Here in round number 9 with almost a minute and 30 seconds left. Do you expect to see yet another knockdown from the Ripped1?
Yeah, for sure. He's throwing that relapse combo. Left uppercut right straight. Does wonders.
Must be proud to see him use that.
Oh yeah, lots of people use that. It's good.
The creator, you heard from himself. What do you think about the body work so far going on in this fight?
There's been lots of body work. Dave's at like half stamina, but he's been throwing a hell of a lot of punches. So
we're seeing Erebos game and trying to use his defense a lot more, as well as we're seeing tons of steps from him this round and just pumping that Philly shell, trying to survive these last 2 rounds. He's definitely been a little bit more defensive-minded than he has been in the last few rounds. We've seen the pressure that he's trying to bring out the gate before he gets out-pressured and out-working and put back on these ropes. You see him going there for possibly the 1-punch KO with that famous back step straight. We're going into the last and final round. Relapse, take it away for round number 10.
Yeah, he's been landing a lot of shots. That Philly shell hasn't really been working all that great for him. I'd like to say that's the best defense in the game, but I've heard you say some different things.
Yeah, I feel it's the textbook cross block. The cross block, I just think blocks headshots a lot better, and most players going for the head on line don't really mix in the body work that we have seen this fight. And you know it will not be a relapse video if you did not say your famous line about the body.
Yeah, keep working the body. I
And
think,
there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Said by the man himself, Relapse states the famous line of the body work that we see, and yet there goes the signature combination on a double hook to the body and then a counter signature right hook to the body that we've seen from Dave the Rip one several times this fight. He is now applying the pressure, trying to get yet another knockdown. Hopefully, the knockout that we've all been waiting for that has been Erebos has just been acting for it all night. I mean, a lackadaisical defense. He's been able to take those shots. I must say, his chin is amazing to be able to be in this fight for so long after getting tagged with so many punches.
yeah, he might get a decision here just because he has such low stamina. He might not be able to land enough head punches in a row to put him down. But
Yeah,
we'll
it's
see.
definitely possible. I definitely could see that happen. And with a minute left going on in this fight, Erebos has been landing those counter jabs all around, but I've still seen him get outworked and more effective shots being landed on him like that straight that was just landed moments ago by Davedaripped1. Both guys trying to go for the knockout here in these last 30 seconds. For me, I would like to see Erebos applying more pressure. I mean, it's obviously you're losing on the scorecards. It's time to turn it up and time to go for broke if he wants to have a chance of winning this fight.
Yeah, that's what I really like to see in fighters. Just go for broke, balls to the wall. And that's the fight,
And
ladies
that is
and
the end of the
gentlemen.
fight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for watching. We now take you to the final results of what has been a completely one-sided fight on our scorecards. And it definitely looks like this decision will be heading towards a win for Day the Rip One. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A win for Day the Rip One. A dominating performance and a well-deserved win. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. It's your boy FInest&R3lapze, the social commentator. And I'm off this. Peace.
Peace, I'm out.
That was good.